Hello, hi everyone. Today we are going to see a support ticket for the FS document. So, what is support ticket? Support ticket is regarding a functional spec, a functional specification document. Functional specification document. Okay. What was the client requirement was whenever he is going to print the PO form, he is going to print the PO form. I think this is a PO form. PO form will consist of vendor, document date, delivery date, items, everything. So you all guys know how the PO form will look. So in that PO form, now in India, GST got implemented. So the client was Indian client. So whenever the PO form is getting printed, he need central GST, state GST, and IGST to be added in the PO form so that he can analyze that in the PO form itself, he can differentiate the net value and the GST value. Net value and the GST value so that the even vendor will not get confused that what is the net value and what is the GST value and for what amount he need to file GST also. So the requirement was this. So as this is a form, this is not a report, this is not a report, this is not a workflow. This is a form. We have a concept called RISIF. We have workflow, we have report, we have interface, we have conversion, we have enhancement, we have forms. So in this, we have forms. So this comes under this category. Now we are going to build the form, the PO output form, so that will have the central GST, state GST, and IGST in it. Okay, for that, we need, as a functional consultant, we need to collect all the tables in the system and provide the tables to the ABAPer and provide him how the PO copy will also look. Where all the PO copy number should come. For example, here the PO number should come. Here the date and place should come. Here below that the vendor address should come. Then below you need to have a line. Then have a header. You should have items, quantity, price, then the total price. Everything need to be defined by you. You need to make a sample PO copy in the Excel or a Word and attach that sample copy with the FS document so that he can design based on the template what you have shared. Okay, now let's go and check what is the FS document which I have written for the requirement. So this is the functional specification document which has been written for the form printing for vendor, including the GST part. If you see here, we have a development number which is GST. Okay, and we have the version, the date when it is got prepared, everything, who has prepared it, and who is going to do the implementation. He is a functional consultant, and they are the technical consultant. Now, what is the exact requirement? The exact requirement is PO form for vendor including GST. What is the requirement? They need to print a PO form for vendor to send to the vendor. In that, they need to include the GST also. Okay, that is the requirement. Now, we need to mention who has requested it on the client side, and we need to mention what is the program type does the ABAPer should write. It is a conversion, it is an interface, it's a report, it is a BAPI, or it is a form. So in our case, it is a form. So we are mentioning it as a form. Tick here. Okay. Then we have priority here. If you require this in a high priority, you can click on this high priority so that you will get this done from the ABAPer as soon as possible. Okay. And when you need to send this interfaces. Okay. If you have any frequency, whenever you want to send the PO copy, so you can send on daily basis, monthly basis. Okay. That is based on the PO, which when it is getting created. Okay. And now you have the reports. How the reports are going to be created. If your first document is for report, then you need to fill this. If not, you can ignore this step. And if it is for interfaces, then you need to fill this. If not, you can ignore this. Okay. Then post you understood what is the business scenario, you need to sign off the functional specification. So Rajeshekaran has been prepared this FS document. And from whom is going to take the sign off? That needs to be mentioned here. Now let us see the actual business requirement. So actual business requirement is the following describes the business requirement for purchase form to the vendor. You can say purchase form with GST. With GST to vendor. Okay. And in detail form, you can see that what is the detail requirement from the business. Develop a purchase print form. Using the T code, this T code, he need to print the form. Right? So if you want the T code also, he has mentioned, I need this T code to print the form also. Now, as a functional consultant, you need to provide the tables for the details of the PO. For example, in the purchase order copy, you need all the details to be printed, like vendor, like material, quantity, price, everything. So for all those things, you need to provide the tables and fields. If you see here, first thing which you need to fill is the vendor in the PO form. That we are going to take it from EKKO. It is a purchase header table. From there, we are going to take LFINR. It is a vendor table. Okay. Then purchase R comes into picture. For purchase R also, it is going to be in the header table. So I'll take EKKO. And then under EKKO, I have a field called EKORG. This is a field. And you have the reporting country where you are going to send this. So again, it is going to EKKO, and you have a field name called LIND. Let's check this because we are seeing this. So let me see that in the table level, EKKO. And if I go and check here as LIND, you see here, you have this field, which is the reporting CR. Reporting CR is nothing but reporting country. Okay, and you have the PO number. In PO number, you can take it from the header itself, that is EKKO and EBELN, right? And you have the material. Okay, material cannot be taken from the table EKKO. Let me put it EKPO because it is in the item level. So I'll take it from this, then I'll take it from the MATLAB. Okay, then I go to supplying vendor, I go to EKKO, LLIEF is the supplying vendor field. So I want the date of the PO, it is EKKO, which is also a header table, then it is AEDAT, that is a field. Okay, and you have the business place. Business place, we are going to take it for the GST implication. Actually, what is the business requirement? They need the GST to be printed in the header as well as in the item, in the total value as well as in the item value. So that we are going to take the business place for GST to pick the GST and data. Okay, now you need the supplier details. You need to mention in the PO the supplier address, where the PO should be sent to the vendor, so that you will be using all the supplier table, which is LFA1, LFB1, LFM1. To pick the address, you go to ADR. So to pick the name, go to LFA1, which is a general table. Then pick the name. For address also, you can take it from LFA1. From there, you can go to ADR, NR. And for state code, GST, and everything is getting picked from LFA1. Okay. Now, you want the logic for item details, how the item details is going to pick, and what is the extra additional thing you need to add in the item level. So you want the HSN code. Where the HSN code is going to save? HSN code is going to save in the plant data. For example, let me show that. For example, if you go to MM02 and pick any material, go to import or export trade with the plant. Okay. Here you have the control code here. This control code is nothing but the HSN code. You click on F1, go to components. Here if you see MARC and field name is STEUC. So that you're going to mention here, STEUC. Okay. Then this HSN code, you're going to link it with the EKPO MATNAR. Here you have EKPO MATNAR in the header section. That is going to be passed to the MARC STEUC. Okay, and tax code. Tax code you can get it from the PO in the item details. So it is EKPO and MWSKZ. Okay, and what is the total PO value? That is going to be picked from EKPO NETWR, that is a net value. Then now you want the taxable value. Now how you are going to pick the taxable value? To pick the taxable value, you need to at least mention this RBKP and you need to minus the value of this tax total, so that you are going to get only the taxable value there. Okay, now these are the custom built table. It was 3-digit table you will not see in the system. STR. Here, there is no category of the table. These are the custom built table for the GST value, because when the GST came into picture, the system also got changed. And if you want to create any information regarding the GST, you need to implement on your own. So for that, the ABAPer implemented the STR as a table name for GST. Then he entered all the information there. As of now, this we cannot see in the system. So this you need to understand that we are going to pick the GST amount and what is the GST rate. That is 8%, 12%, 18%. That is going to pick here. Okay. Then what are the tables? From this, you can say that, okay, in my PO form, I need my vendor details, purchase org, reporting country, PO number, material, supplying vendor, date of PO. Everything needs to be done in the header section. And coming to the supplier details, below supplier, I want the address of the supplier to be mentioned because I want to send the PO copy to the vendor, right? Then comes the logic for the item. In item, you need to have the material, quantity, price, then the HSN code, then the total, then the GST value. So you have HSN code, tax code, total, and the GST values. Okay. Now you're saying system that, or your ABAPer saying that what all tables are involved. So these are the tables involved. Till now, what we have done, we have just defined the tables, but we have not defined the logic yet. Now we need to define the logic, how the data should fetch here and how the calculation should happen for this. For that, we are going to write the logic now. In the PO form, a new column should be added for central GST, state GST, and IGST in the header as well as the footer. New field added with plant, GST, registration number, and vendor registration number. Okay, so tax code is hard coded with the tax procedure. Okay, tax code should get picked from this TAXINN instead of ZAXINN. For India, it is TAXIN. So it is, I'm asking the ABAPer to pick this tax code instead of using this. Okay, and to get the different values of GST like central GST, state GST, and IGST, this central GST, state GST, and IGST are implemented as a pricing procedure in the system. Okay, so as this got implemented in system, What SAP did, the SAP created a J series transaction for the central GST, state GST, and IGST. We are going to use that to calculate the tax item and give it to the ABAPO. Okay. Then you are saying that reading the internal table, that is KOMV table, it should take the total amount value for central GST, state GST, and IGST by comparing the condition item number is equal to the item number. Then only the system should give you the central GST amount there. So this is a calculation, how the calculation should happen, and from where the value should get picked and which value should convert to which value. That we are going to define it here. Okay. Then we have the test PO which you are giving to the ABAPer. So using this test PO, he is going to prepare his file. Okay. Then as soon as we build this and system testing is done, we take the sign of the vendor or the client. Okay. Thank you.